So let's say I hear about this company called Apple, and I think I might want to invest in this company, but I need to do a little more research first. I'm going to tell you step by step exactly what I do as someone who has been investing for 26 years, and the last job that I ever worked for somebody else was in 2011. You ready? Let's go. And I'm going to layer this from simplest to most complex, okay? The very first thing I do, bare minimum, is I go to Seeking Alpha. Now, when I look up the stock, I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to go over here to the ratings summary. Now, I don't really care what the Seeking Alpha analysts have to say. I always ignore this one. I care about Wall Street, and Wall Street has a buy rating on the stock. And when you click on Wall Street, it's going to show you how many analysts have a strong buy, a hold, a sell, and a strong sell. This is very convincing to me. Just at a bare minimum, you can see that Wall Street really likes this stock. And if you scroll down a little bit, it'll give you the 1 year price target for Apple. Now remember, Apple is $255 right now. But according to Wall Street analysts, they think that the stock could have an average price target of $287. That is a 12% gain. But some analysts think it could go as high as $350, while others think it could drop down to $215. Next thing I do is I go back to the homepage and I scroll all the way down to the revenue. And you can see that 2025 revenue, they made $416 billion, but in 2026, they expect to do $453 billion. That's quite a jump. And in 2027, $482 billion. So they're seeing growth. And just as a comparison, let's look at some more volatile companies so you can see that disparity in the projections, which means that you're getting into potentially a larger growth stock, which also does carry more risk. Let's just use Rivian as an example, and I'm going to drop all the way down to the revenue and look at these projections. Look, first in 2022, 1.6 billion, 4.4 billion, 4.97 in 2025, 5 billion. Then look at 2026's projection, 6.83 billion. Man, my screen is a little bit dirty. One last thing I do on Seeking Alpha is if the company does pay a dividend, and you can see Apple does, although it is very small, I'll click on the dividend tab right here, and I find their dividend safety grade. You can only use the dividend safety grade if you have a premium account. Yes, you have to pay for it, but I find it worth it. That is stage one. Step two is I go to my brokerage. I'm using Charles Schwab. They're the best. And I find Apple. Now, this is the Apple homepage, but what I want is this, the ratings and reports. And I read all of them. I read the good, I read the bad. My goal is to be a well-rounded investor. I am not looking for confirmation bias. If I am bullish on a stock, I want to see what analysts are not bullish on it, and I want to see if there's anything I can learn or any insights. Maybe the analysts are saying, short term, we see some problems. Okay, short term, I don't necessarily care about. That might even present a buying opportunity for me. Third thing I do is I go to my own website. I know that seems sort of lame, but I do. So I go right here, and right under the menu, I look for the fundamental analysis template. If you click on this link, it is free, but this is what the template looks like. I go to Market Watch, I type in the stock that I'm looking for, I click on financials, and I find all the information that I need on the stock that I'm researching to fill out this template. I take all the information that I found from Seeking Alpha to the analyst reports to my own fundamental analysis template, and I make a decision from there as to whether I want to invest. If I say, this company seems a little risky, maybe I consider it a speculative investment, at which point I only put in anywhere from 1 to 5% of my total money in a high risk stock. It's money I'm okay to lose. Anything that looks like a very high quality investment, I invest more.